Hello to all my Facebook family, to whoever's listening, and to whoever cares. Um, First off, I just want to say to all you Trump supporters out there, I think I speak for everybody when I say, he got convicted on 35 counts, guilty on everything. Is this man ever going to see the inside of a jail? No, he's not. He's absolutely not. Can I predict the future? No, I could be wrong. But it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. The world is bending to his will. And that's okay. These are the last days of democracy. And to all of you people out there that say, praise God and God is good, you all know what this channel is about already. I'm talking about the goodness of God, where you're aligning yourself with these people, okay? You're so anxious to give away your democracy and your freedoms and everything that we ever fought for. You're just anxious to give it away when you say things like God is good. God doesn't believe in freedom. God is not good. I watched a TV show called Supernatural. It's like 15 seasons. It's a good show, but Jesus, it just went on for so long. But anyway, I think it was season 14. It was like the last episode. They discover who God is, and they pissed off God, and they're getting ready to start fighting with him. You know, the show ends right there, and the music starts. The band is singing the song, and the first line in the song was, "God was never on your side." I was still figuring myself out and wondering if I was a believer or not. So I was still in the mid-phase. I wasn't an atheist yet. But that phrase just blew my mind away. I could not believe it. Just hit me like a ton of bricks. I always thought God might have been, was always out there, maybe looking over me or protecting me, making sure my family was okay, even though they wasn't, things like that, I thought it was a possibility. Then I heard that, and I was just like, wow. I have to start looking at these things from the other side, from the outside. Just do it. Don't be afraid to peek. Don't be afraid to look. Just do it. All right? And if you disagree with me, then fall in line and give away your freedoms. Give away your democracy. Just give it away and vote Trump. Yay. These are the last days of our democracy. I just have a feeling that man is going to be president again. He will be. And we could kiss all our freedoms. We could kiss all of it goodbye. Yep. Excuse me. Oh, God is punishing me early. Talking about his anointed. Yeah. There's something out there called Project 25. So even if this man doesn't become president again, if he passes away tomorrow, I used to say God forbid to things like that, but I don't wish harm on him, in spite of all the harm that he wishes on me. I don't wish harm on him, so I don't want him to pass away. I want him to live a long, healthy life. Even if he doesn't become president and he somehow vanishes tomorrow into obscurity, Damage is done. Donald Trump murdered Shane. He murdered Shane. And to those of you who know what I'm talking about, you know anything about psychology or human behavior or anything like that, you understand the importance of Shane. He moved the Overton window so that you could say, you know, pretty much all speech is free now, you know. That's fine. That's fine. But we're just able to say the most horrific things to each other nowadays, and it just doesn't matter. There's no consequences for anything anymore, you know. And it's gonna get worse than that. Yeah, I don't think the Bible is good, and I don't think God is good. And there's people out there that are good people, great people, wonderful people. But there's this phrase out there that says, if you want a good person to do bad things, give them religion or give them God, you know, something to that effect. Or, you know, there's also the phrase that, you know, there's this phrase out there that says, in order for evil to win, all it takes is for good people to do absolutely nothing, you know? And I don't want to be that kind of good person. I want to get out there and speak my mind and speak my truth and speak the truth, you know? As I said before, it's not always about truth, you know? You could be true and miserable, or you could be lying to yourself and happy. That's fine. You can lie to yourself and be happy. Just take care of yourself and make sure that that lie is not taken away from your overall life, you know. You could lie to save somebody's life. You could lie for a whole myriad of reasons that is justifiable, you know. Or it makes sense, you know. It would make sense for you to lie. Like if a Nazi came to your door and you're protecting people, you know, you would probably lie to protect those people. You wouldn't give them up, you know. You would try to do the decent thing, right? So yeah, these are the last days of our democracy, and let's just kiss it goodbye, you know. Everything we ever fought for, like the right to marry who you want, or you know, interracial marriage, or you know, abortion is already gone. You could kiss that goodbye. This is not America anymore, you know. Our democracy has been eroding ever since, you know. But yeah, like I've said before, this is not the world that I want my daughter to grow up in. It's I don't care about what you do in your family, you know. But if you make a decision in your family, it may not be the right decision, but it's none of my business. I'm not in your house, you know. I just don't want your beliefs to intrude on my rights, you know. That's when we have a problem. But yeah, I want to talk about video games for a while. You'll understand why. Just try to bear with me. But you know, I know a little bit about video game design. This is going to be a philosophical discussion, but I just want to get you to open your mind and think about things for a little while. Don't be so narrow-minded, and think about the possibility of other realities that are not this one. You know, I question reality all the time. You know, these are things I think about all the time ever since I was a little kid. I've always been curious as to where we come from, why we're here, what's our purpose, all that stuff, you know. people say that if you don't believe in God, then you have no real purpose. You don't believe in anything. And I tell those people to fuck off, because I believe in a whole lot. I believe in love. I believe in happiness. I believe in prosperity. I believe in all that stuff. I believe in working hard. I believe in fighting for what's right. I believe in my neighbors. I believe in people. I do believe. I just don't have supernatural beliefs, But let's talk about supernatural beliefs a little bit. Let's talk about video games, and I'll explain why. If you have any idea what I'm talking about, then you'll understand why I'm talking about this stuff. But I want to talk about some video games for a minute. Let's talk about virtual reality and a couple of games that I've played in virtual reality. For those of you that have never tried virtual reality before, or you've probably never heard of it, it's not an exaggeration when I say the difference between virtual reality and watching television is literally like looking at a picture or being in that picture. It's literally that powerful. It's a very powerful technology. It's literally my favorite technology. Like it just blows my mind. You're literally there. You're transported into another planet. I don't know if any of you have ever watched a movie in 3D. Back in the days we used to watch movies in 3D, and it was just a horrible experience. It just didn't make any sense. It was just a blurry mess. But we've perfected movies in 3D. Well, I haven't said we've perfected it, but it's on the next level. It's amazing. I remember it must have been like 2011 or 2012 the first time I tried 3D glasses, and it was the Terminator experience in Universal Studios in Florida, and it blew my mind away. I couldn't explain what I was seeing. It was so realistic, so real. It's like everything was just like in your face. And it took me a while to figure out what am I really seeing, and why does it look like that? What is it that I'm looking at? But it feels so real, like you're really there, But just keep in mind that you're still looking at a TV monitor. So this watching movies in 3D and virtual reality, they have similarities, but watching movies in 3D is you're still looking at a monitor. So just keep that in mind. You're still looking at a screen. When you're in virtual reality, you are in virtual reality. So try to imagine, you're looking at a picture, right? And try to think of a billboard. You have two people in front of each other in a billboard. Most of you have driven by billboards, so you know that when you're driving by the billboard, it's not like you can see behind. If one person is standing in front of another, you're not going to see the person in the back. No matter where you move or what position you're in, you're not going to see the person in the back, right? But if you're watching a movie in 3D, or if it's a billboard or whatever, IMAX theater, whatever you want to say, it doesn't matter where you're standing in that movie theater. If you want to look behind that person, all you got to do is like move your head, and you can literally see around that person. You can't do that in a regular movie. A regular flat movie, and that's not possible. So like you walk right in front of the screen in a regular movie theater. Everything is gonna look flat, like it's a billboard, but it's not like that with 3D. With 3D, you see, you have perspective. You have real perspective. And now virtual reality, it's try to imagine, when you're watching a movie on TV and you see a large building or something, you really don't think about how big that building is. It's just there. You have no concept of the size of the measurement or anything like that. But when you're in virtual reality and you see a large building, you have to look up at it. So combine that with the 3D image. It's not like just taking a flat image and putting it in front of you, and then you can see in every direction. It's not like that. You can go on YouTube right now and put 360 video just with a regular cell phone. You can do this right now, and just put 360 view and just type in anything, and you can tap your screen and move the camera around while you're watching the video. So like the video is pointing in every direction. So this is the way they record virtual videos. It's a camera ball that's pointing in every single direction. So it's taking the footage in every direction. It's not like you have a camera strapped to your head and you're looking in every direction. If I was to do that right now with my phone, wherever I look, that's what's gonna be in the video. You're not gonna be able to see what's behind me or anything like that. But with a camera ball, it's pointing in every direction, so all the footage is being taken at the same time. It's all stitched together, right? So you can go on YouTube, type in 360 videos, and just tap on the screen, and you can move the screen around to wherever you want to look, or you can move your phone around, right? You can move your phone around, and it'll show you the entire environment. It's pretty mind blowing, but that's still a flat image, right? So when you have virtual reality, it's not like you're putting a phone close to your face and you're using that technology to look around. No, it's the ability to look around combined with the 3D stereoscopic. A lot of you don't know what that means, but 3D stereoscopic means it's like 3D glasses, you know. So you put that together, and you put on these virtual reality glasses, and you literally feel like you're there. It's not an exaggeration. This is not a gimmick. This is not anything like that. This is the future, in my opinion. And this is the technology I use to create video games. So when I'm in there, I feel like God. I feel like I am God. A lot of you are gonna chew me up for that, but anyway, I know I'm not God, right? But anyway, the reason why I'm saying all this is because you know, we're either already there, or we're very close to a future where we're making machines that are so sophisticated, so intelligent, so smart that they may not even know that they're machines. You know, for instance, you can make a robot that looks like me, and it's still a robot. It's a very rudimentary, crude technology, whatever. But you know, this AI stuff is mind blowing stuff, and I believe it eventually it's gonna gain consciousness if it hasn't already. You know, because we're feeding all this information into computers, and they're doing calculations, and they're doing comparisons, billions and billions of comparisons, and they're learning to do things like you know, back in the day, you can write something down and put it on, and take a picture of it, and the computer want to know what the hell it is. But now the computer can literally know what you're writing down. And it knows what you're saying, and it can repeat it back to you in different voices and different, you know, it's just getting out of control. But yeah, so also there's this game. There's these games that I play in virtual reality. There's this one, I don't own it yet, but I know the premise of the game is called Fisherman's Tale, right? So think about this. You go to your house, right? You're at home, and you have a model replica of your building, right? You're able to look inside the building, right? And inside that model replica of the building, you make it to your apartment, right? You open the door, you go inside, you look at the apartment. You're like a big person looking inside this tiny little model. And when you get inside your apartment, you see yourself inside of your apartment, looking. You see the tiny image of yourself inside this little apartment, and it's looking at the building, a model of the building inside. And it's like looking at a house, you know, and you open the house, and then you see yourself looking inside the house, and it's just mind blowing if you think about this stuff, you know. Yeah, think about that for a minute, you know. So you're literally observing yourself. It's like in a huge mirror image. So imagine if you know you're playing with a little doll of yourself, right? And that little doll or that little toy of yourself is playing with a little toy of itself, and it just keeps going like that, you know. I never played this game before, but it's the simple idea of it is mind blowing, right? So you got a game like that, and just think about that for a moment, right? Then we have this other game. It's called No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky. You guys should look this game up. Now I could play this game in virtual reality. So, this there's this category of games. It's called an open world game. This is not an open world game. You know the difference between a world, a universe, a world, a galaxy, and a universe. It's not an open galaxy game. It's an open universe game, right? So if I start this game, there's a spaceship in front of me. I'm in a world. It's a Earth-sized world. So if I wanted to walk around this planet, right, it'll take me a couple of days just to do that inside the video game. A couple of real human days to walk from one side of that planet all the way around to the other, right? Then I could go inside my spaceship, and it's you look up in the video game, and you see stars. They're everywhere, and every star that you see, every planet that you see, everything, anything you can see in the game, you can go to, right? So I could go in my spaceship. If I see a moon, I could fly and go to that moon. If I see a star, I can warp drive and literally fly to that star. There's billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of stars in this one game. It's a universe. It's a literal universe. This is not hyperbolic. This is not, it's just a video game. But think about that for a minute. So it's like I said before, if I see technologies, let me tell you about this one movie. It's called The Island. It's with Ian. I think his name is Ian McGregor, the guy that played the young Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Scarlett Johansson. And the point of this movie is, these people, they live in a prison. They've been there their entire lives, right? And there's this lottery going on inside the prison, so where people they win the lottery, and they leave the prison and they go to paradise, right? Or at least that's what they think, that they're going to paradise. Of course, I'm gonna spoil the movie for you. So if you haven't seen the movie, it's been years since I've seen this movie, but the concept of it blows me away. This is like Matrix level stuff. But these are things that we have to think about. But yeah, the point of this the point of this paradise is that they're living in a prison, right? And they think they're going to paradise. So the paradise is actually just a regular life, right? So there's regular people. There's no paradise. It's just a regular world. And when they get there, they're all actually everybody in that prison is actually a clone of somebody in the real world, right? So the reason why they're in that prison is because if I have a clone and it's inside of the prison, and something happens to me, I'm in a car accident or something major happens to me, so now they can summon that clone from that prison and harvest his organs, and we're 100% compatible. And so I get my organs back, I get everything back, and I'm fine. And then the clone gets disposed of. If I have money like that, I can make another clone of myself, and just keep repeating this process. And I don't have to worry about antibodies and stuff like that. My body rejecting an external organ or anything like that, because it's me. It's me. They're clones, And I don't know if you guys know, but I believe back in the 90s or late or early 2000s, we cracked the technology to make mammal clones. Dalai Lama was the first mammal clone that was made, and I believe the international community came together and made it illegal to make human clones, even though they made other mammal clones. Human clones is supposed to be illegal, but I've already heard stories to where they're doing this in parts of the world. They're making clones. I'm not necessarily against the idea, but you can see how something like this can get out of control. And we could lose ourselves with stuff like this. So I always say I'm not afraid of technology. I'm afraid of the way we use it. So every technology that we have is just a tool, and we always find ways of misusing it. But some things surpass being tools. I think like things like AI and stuff like that. That's not a tool. That's gonna become that one day. That's gonna become a living entity, and we're gonna have to grapple with major questions like should we give this entity rights and stuff like that. Again, I'm not against stuff like that, but it's a very scary world that we're moving towards. About hundreds of years ago, if I was to tell you, hey, I can literally talk to somebody on the other side of the planet, you would look at me like I'm crazy. Like how is that possible? And then we started building phone lines and stuff like that. But you would have to be in a certain location, and then we made car phones, and then cell phones and stuff. So yeah, we're just moving at a rapid technology. Each one of us has if you believe in the moon landing, I don't know if it happened or not. Some people say it was all faked or whatever, but if you believe in the moon landing, then supposedly around those times, we have more technology in our cell phones than they did in that whole entire project. We're literally holding light years more technology in our hands with these cell phones that we're holding. So we're moving pretty rapidly. Uh, yeah, like computers can do remarkable things that we can't even dream of. And yeah, it's just I know all of this sounds like it sounds like I'm making a case for God, right? Because if you think about it, and God, if there is a God, right, there's a science behind his existence, whatever it may be, whatever tools he uses to do whatever it is that he does. There's an explanation behind it. There's a science behind it, even if it's a mystery to us. They say magic is just science for the future that we haven't figured out yet. And yeah, so yeah, I feel like once we figure these things out, we'll be able to explore some of these things. But some things are just never gonna be. Some things are always gonna be out of our reach, no matter what we do. And like I said, I don't like to get too philosophical with these videos, because that's not my focus. I will grant you, even though I don't believe this anymore. I don't believe in God, but I will grant you that God does exist. That's not the reason why I'm making this video. I'm making this video because I don't believe God is good, and the government is using God to take our rights away. Uh, you know, this is not an exaggeration. It's happening. It's literally happening. I believe these are the last days of our democracy. What did I believe today is the first day of June or something. By November, we're gonna have another election, and our choices of our election is a genocide sympathizer, or a demagogue that wants to strip our rights away. So um, we literally have to pick the lesser of two evils, whatever our perspective of evil is. I'm no fan of Joe Biden. I can't deny that he's done some good stuff for us. That he's done a lot of good, but you know, this whole Gaza Israel thing is I don't agree with a lot of the decisions that are being made. I really don't want to get into it because I don't really understand the whole thing. I'm not gonna pretend to understand. But basically, all I want to say is that when two countries go to war, I don't give a shit which country is right and which country is wrong. None of that matters to me. What matters to me is the people that are suffering because of the decisions of their leaders. And innocent men, women, and children are suffering you know, possibly on both sides. I don't know all the details, you know, but that's what's important to me. You know, that's what's important to me. At the end of the day, it's not who's right or wrong, or it's who's being affected by these wars, you know. And I believe we're you know, this country here in America is itching for a civil war. You know, that there's people that are just doing things to exacerbate the already bad situations that we're living in. They're pushing towards that, you know. And it kind of scares me, you know, because you know, I have a family to worry about, and you know, war is a very ugly thing, you know. And you know, I've always, you know, I love to fight, you know. I'm that kind of person. I love to fight. I've been in a couple of fist fights before. To my Facebook family, some of you know me very well, you know, and some of you have been in fist fights with me before, literal fist fights, and you know, we're able to see past that and still be friends, you know. But I do love a good fight, you know. I may not be good at it. I know I can't fight. This is whatever, but I do like fighting. I probably can't take a punch, you know. I know that for a fact, but the point is, you know, I love to fight, but I would do everything to avoid a fight. This is not the kind of fight that I'm trying to pick right now. You know, I'm not trying to start a war or anything like that. I'm trying to start the kind of fight I'm trying to start now is I just want to start a discussion and try to make you guys aware of some of the things that are happening, even though you already know what's happening, but some of you don't understand the extent of it. You know, because it's like I said, you know, when I open up Facebook and I see God is good all plastered all over the place, and then I see these people in government that are using the name of God to strip our rights away. Do me a favor and don't pick your fight with me. Don't try to convince me that your God exists. I don't give a shit whether you praise God or whether you don't praise God. That none of that shit matters to me. What matters to me is that you do the right thing, and you realize that by you saying stuff like this, you're aligning yourself with these people. And you have to understand that. You have to understand that, you know. If you go to a person's house, right, and they told you that you asked them for a cup of water and they gave it to you, right? After you drink that water, or before you drink the water, they go to hand you the cup and they say, oh, by the way, there was a little bit of a poop in this cup, but don't worry, I took a little tissue and I wiped it away. Would you still drink that water? I wouldn't. You know. So when I open up the Bible and I read that, you know, when I read things like, I keep hitting the same points. That there's many more points that I can hit. You know, many more things. Just go to my playlist. I have my playlist is up. Just follow this channel and go to a playlist called The Bad News. And I have almost 1,000 videos that discuss things like this in a way better fashion. You have people that are way more professional than I am. You got people like Aaron Raw, Mandisa Thomas, Matt Delahanty, Owen. You have Hamid Mehta. You know, you have all these people. You have the Freedom from Religion Foundation. You have, you know, all these people know a lot more about these topics than I do, and they can explain a lot of this stuff better than I can. But the point is, I don't need to be a professional to understand what I'm reading. I can open up the book and it's gonna show me a page that gives me instructions on how to read slavery. I'm gonna take that book and I'm gonna close it up. And I'm gonna throw that book away. I'm gonna dispose of that book so that nobody else can see that book. And what scares me is that a lot of you will put a bullet in my chest if you saw me burning this book. You would put a bullet in my chest to protect this book. A lot of you are more concerned that I've used profanity in this video rather than listening to the issues that I'm actually talking about, you know? And that scares me, because it's the good people and the bad people praise God equally. Think about what I'm saying, please. Think about what I'm saying. Or, you know, somebody I used to go to church with found out the other day that I wasn't, that I was an atheist. You know what they told me? We're in the end of days. These are the last days. And I didn't have time to talk to them. I had to walk away, you know. We both had stuff to do. They were at work. I was on my way home. But I didn't have time to discuss it with them. But they were right though. We're in the last days of we're in the last days of America. We're in the last days of democracy. And like I said before, I'm not particularly proud of this country, but I do love this country, and I want to see it succeed, because this is my home. I was born here, you know, and I don't. I'm not the kind of person that has a full blind loyalty to anything. Like I've told you before, some of the people in my own family, I love them to death, but I'm not afraid of pointing out their flaws and their mistakes. Sometimes even when they're not with us anymore, that's just the kind of person I am. You know, I don't like BS. I don't like BS. I don't like bullshit. I have zero tolerance for it. You know, and we can't pretend that people that are not with us anymore, that they didn't do damage, or they didn't do great things, or that they didn't. It's a wholesale deal. You know, we have to take the good with the bad. Is the Chips Ahoy philosophy? You know, can't bite a Chips Ahoy cookie without biting the chip. You know, that's the way I see it. You got to take the good with the bad. You know, this is my family, and I love them very much, you know. But so some of my family and some of my friends that are not with us anymore, they've hurt me, and I've hurt them, you know. And that's what life is. But we always have to strive to do better. We always have to strive to do good. I don't believe in you know, if somebody has done good, but they're an evil person. I don't believe in throwing away the baby with the bath. I hate that term, but throwing away the baby with the bathwater. I don't believe in that. You know, you take what you can. You take what's valuable, and you. If you don't have to take the whole thing, then you just take what's valuable, and you put the rest back. I learned something about slavery and gynecology. You know, I learned that our understanding of gynecology today was rooted in slavery. You know, and this man was doing experiment on black women. You know, and they were very cruel experiments, very horrible experiments. You know, but it got us to where we are now. You know, and I'm pretty sure none of you would throw away all that technology and everything that we've learned, because it was something that was rooted in slavery. You know, and it's horrible to say, but you know, we're all in a learning process. You know, none of us are born with all the knowledge. You know, we're not angels like me. You know, my name is Angel, but everybody knows I'm no angel. But supposedly angels were born with all the knowledge that there is to know. You know, to where humans they have to acquire knowledge. They're not born with it. You know, that's some theology there. I don't know if it's in the Bible or if that's what people say, but anyway, yeah, you know. So if you know, I might watch I might listen to an R. Kelly song, you know, and I don't believe in what he did. You know, he still has great music. So this is horrible to say, you know, but you know, it's, you know, we have to take the good where we can get it sometimes, and put the rest back. So that's just the way I see it. So when it comes to like canceling somebody, it's hard, it's difficult because it leads to all the problems that we have in this world. Like you know, there's police out there that they'll defend the rich and they'll attack the poor because the rich could go with impunity and do whatever they want. And they I saw this on the show called Shameless. In the last couple of episodes, this kid Carl, he's a police officer, and this rich guy was being an asshole and parking where he wasn't supposed to, and just doing whatever he wanted. And Carl arrested him, and Carl, the officer, got in trouble with his precinct because this person is a donor to the precinct. So he has to submit some of his, he has to forfeit some of his morality just to, and he doesn't do it. He tries to be a nice guy and apologize to the guy, but the guy on top of that goes and just pushes it to another level and tries to insult him or say that he should get fired and stuff like that. That's unfortunately that's the world that we live in. We put money above all else. It bothers me to know that right now the government can open the floodgates and make a home for every man, woman, and child on the planet. We have enough to shelter every man, woman, and child on the planet. We have enough food to feed the world many, many, many times over. But yeah, I got fired from a job one time because I took sandwiches at the end of the night that were gonna go in the garbage. I had a substitute manager. He wasn't my main manager. And we were having a great time the whole day. And at the end of the day, my other managers never had a problem with it. They never told me. Maybe I didn't understand the policy or I didn't read it. We get these books, these policy books. Sometimes we read them, sometimes we don't. So maybe I didn't understand the policy. But at the end of the day, I told him, hey, I'm gonna take these sandwiches. He was like, no, they gotta go in the garbage. And I was like, no, why? They're perfectly good. He didn't say a word after that. He didn't try to say no, the policy or this, or try to make me understand. And I guess I was at fault or whatever. But yeah, the next day he was there with my district manager, and they fired me over this. And yeah, this is like why would you throw food away, knowing that there's people out there that can benefit from it? That's just horrible. Some of you have feelings about that, and some of you understand what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it just hurts me that that's the kind of world that we live in. Knowing that we can all win, we can all prosper. But they rather throw the food away because they didn't make a profit of it. And yeah, humanity be damned. It's all about the dollar, and it's to me that's not even about the dollar, because they weren't going to make a profit of that regardless. It was the end of the night. It wasn't going to sell. Nobody was gonna come and buy it. You know what I mean? We can't sell it that next day, but still nobody's gonna buy it. So the company is at a loss. That's their loss. But then on top of that, they have to go above that and go ahead and fire me or whoever can benefit from this. And there were times that I would go take these sandwiches, and on the way home, I would see homeless people just reach into my bag. Here's a sandwich. Have a good night. But yeah, they didn't care about that. And I just think I'm not trying to say poor is me or anything like that. It's like whatever. It's my consequences, and I dealt with it, and I would deal with it. I would deal with it again. I know better, but it's just like now it's like now I'm just in this machine, in this corporate machine, and I'm just a cog in the machine, and that stripped away a little bit of my humanity, because it's like now it's like I heard the story during 9/11 where close to the towers, there was a Starbucks, and a bunch of firemen went into the Starbucks. It was still open while the buildings were falling and all this. These firefighters, they went in there covered in ashes, with the remains of these people that are burning, and these ashes from this building that's falling apart all around them. There's destruction and terror, and they just went in there and they wanted a few bottles of water, and the person behind the counter made them pay for it. You know, who's wrong in that situation? Who's wrong? When you have things like what happened to me, it happens to people all the time. I understand there's a standard for business where you have to defend your product, but there's certain times when you have to look past that and just look at the humanity in the situation. That's my whole thing. Humanity should come first before anything else. Anything else on this planet. Humanity should always come first. If we all had that mindset, then we can all make it, no problem. We can all make it, but we're too busy trying to get profit from each other, and trying to make sure that some of us don't prosper. It's not always about money. Sometimes it's about I hate you and I don't like you, and I don't want to see you have the things that you have, and so I'm gonna go and destroy what you have. And I don't need it. I don't care. I have my own, but I'm gonna go and destroy what you have. I believe it's called the Tulsa Massacre. I think it was in Atlanta. The story of Black Wall Street. So where black people back in the day, they had their own Wall Street, their own ecosystem, their own businesses, their own everything, and a bunch of white people just came in there and just destroyed everything. And the government signed off on it. I'm just throwing in a bunch of details in there. I don't know the story exactly. I've heard it a couple of times, but I'm not, if you hear me misspeak about any of these details, that's don't attack me, because I don't know the detail perfectly. Attack me if I'm telling a lie, then attack me. Then I have no right. If I'm making a story up, then yeah. But if I get a few little details wrong, don't harp on that. Don't harp on that. Just try to listen to the message that I'm telling you. None of this is this is not hypothetical. I'm talking about things that are happening in reality, and just my message is going back to humanity. It's all about the human experience is what makes all of this possible. So if you go across a bridge, extend your hand and make sure that person behind you makes it across that bridge too. Don't drag dynamite across the bridge. Right? We're all in a circular firing range. We are. And what are we gonna do? Is we're standing in a circle. We can all blow each other's brains out, or we can extend the hand and try to help each other. Like I keep saying, there's too much I don't give a fuck in this world. There's too much of it. And that's a freedom that we have. It's a freedom that we're exercising way too much, in my opinion. We're exercising it way too much, and we're forgetting ourselves. And we're attacking the very people that are gonna help us prosper in the future, even if they are our enemies. If we can help our enemies and make them into allies, why wouldn't we at least attempt to do that and extend our families, right? Yeah. I think I'm gonna leave it there, but think about what I said, and let me know what you think, and check out my playlist that I'm talking about. It's called The Bad News. All right. Some of these people are they're fighting the good fight. These are godless people that are fighting the good fight. They don't have God in their heart. But they're fighting for your rights, and they're fighting for my rights. They're fighting for the right for you to pray the way you want to and to who you want to. Right? And that's what I'm fighting for too. I want you to pray however you want. Pray to whoever you want. But don't put your God above your neighbor. Don't put God above the people around you. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because when you really, 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 really need it, that blessing is going to come from the person. It's not going to come from the God. Okay? Good things happen to bad people. Bad things happen to bad people. It's the same thing for good people. Good things happen to good people and bad things happen to good people. Is God there? Is he not? It doesn't matter. I don't give a shit about that. I don't care about that. It doesn't matter. What matters is what you do, not what you think. A lot of these are not my words. I got that from somebody. I don't remember who, but those are not my words. It doesn't matter what you think. It matters what you do. It doesn't matter who you pray to. It matters who you bless. Okay? So treat each other better, all right? I love you for free. I'm going to leave it there. And think about what I said and talk to me. Talk to each other. But talk. All right? Put the guns down. Put down the anger. Put down the hatred. Put it down and think for a minute, okay? That person that you're going to unleash your wrath on, you're going to need that person one day. Or somebody that you love is going to need that person. Or that person is going to be needed. We need everybody here. We need everybody, no matter how useless a person seems. We need every last one of us. Doesn't matter how we look. Doesn't matter who we are. We need everybody. Good, bad, ugly, pretty, beautiful, old, fat, young. We need everybody. We need everybody here. All right. We need to exchange our ideas in a much more fluid manner. We have these devices that allow us to communicate with each other, and all we do is use it to tear each other down. Let's start listening to each other. Let's start listening to each other. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. I love you guys. Bye.